Are there really unclaimed scholarships out there? Let's talk facts. With the rising cost of college, every parent wants to help their student tap into money that doesn't have to be paid back so that hopefully their student can avoid student loan debt and a parent can avoid cutting into their own funds or worse, tapping into their retirement. So in the search of scholarship dollars, you may have heard that billions go unclaimed every single year or unused, untouched. But is this real or is this a myth? In this video, I am breaking down the truth behind unclaimed college scholarships and unused grant money and how to actually find and apply for that money. Now make sure you hit subscribe because every week we have a new strategy for you and your family to work towards a debt-free degree. Hello there, my name is Jocelyn Pearson, founder of the Scholarship System, where we help families overwhelmed by the cost of college secure scholarships so that their student can avoid student loan debt. In fact, we've helped families secure over $15 million to date, and it is going up every single day. Now, just a quick note, this is for U.S. citizens and permanent residents. We're not familiar with this for international students. So let's talk about unclaimed money. So what are types of unclaimed money? So we have unclaimed scholarships, and this usually refers to scholarship funds that go unused because no one applied for them or meets their specific criteria. This can be scholarships through universities, but more so I would say private scholarship dollars, which I talk a lot about in that free webinar that we have where I cover my 6 steps to securing scholarships. If you haven't attended it, I really recommend you do it. It's a great 1-hour training to get you and your student ready to go on scholarship. So you can just register at thescholarshipsystem.com/free webinar. Link should be also down in the description, or you can click on this video, open it up in a separate tab, and attend that training after this video. But that said, that free training will get you started. But when it comes to the free money, unclaimed money, a lot of it would be that private money that I talk about in there. And there's also then unclaimed government money or grants that are awarded to students. Now, while it is a myth that billions of dollars in scholarships go unclaimed, there actually is some truth to this. So from SoFi, it is estimated that close to $100 million in scholarships go unclaimed every year, and around $2 billion in grants go unclaimed. Now, in a 2024 study by the National College Attainment Network, they actually found it's closer, most likely, to $4 billion in Pell Grants that students left on the table by not submitting FAFSA. So that said, the numbers are not black and white. This is hard also because we don't know necessarily who's giving out scholarships and who's not. But overall, we can all agree there's definitely money left on the table. And I can give you a very quick example of this that's personal. We have a scholarship committee reach out to us every single year asking for us to share their scholarship because they get so few applicants. Now, I'm not saying they get none, but pretty much we always have a scholarship system course member win because we know what we're doing with applications, but also because they share it with us, we share it with our members only. And so there's less competition. But that just goes to show that scholarships do struggle to get applications sometimes, which is crazy, right? Because we all want the free money. So why does money go unclaimed? Just a few quick reasons that might give you ideas on where to search. Maybe they're niche specific. So maybe they have very specific eligibility requirements. Maybe they're designed for a demographic like left-handed students or descendants of very specific veterans. So maybe they're very specialized scholarships. This could lead to less applicants. I think one of the bigger reasons is the second one, and that's lack of promotion. So not every scholarship gets out there. They don't have a lot of traction or social media following or what have you. They don't know how to get the word out. And so this is why one of the skills we teach in the scholarship system is actually to use Google to find them. So if they're not doing a good job of finding you or your students, then we've got to find them. And that's one of the things we cover in that webinar, that free webinar that I mentioned that's linked below. And the other thing here is it's not well promoted. But also then families don't seek them out. Okay. A lot of families will go after the big scholarships, the commonly known ones like Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, KFC. These are ones that we all hear about. And so our students go after those. And you'll find if you do anything with the scholarship system, including our course, those are actually not the ones that we focus on. If your student can win it, great. But those are not the ones because you've got tens of thousands of applicants to those. We like to go after the ones that have 4, 5 applicants, 10 applicants, right? Increase our chances drastically for winning the money. So there's that lack of marketing them, but there's also the lack of seeking them for families. They don't think about seeking these more hidden scholarships that we teach to find in the scholarship system. And so therefore they can go unclaimed. Another personal story, I had a scholarship where I applied. They had 2 awards, only 4 applicants. They actually reached out to all the donors and said, would you match your money? Because then we can give every single applicant a scholarship. The donors said yes. And so literally all 4 of us got something. It was a 100% success rate for applicants. All we had to do was apply. How amazing is that? So I have seen this not just in a professional level, but as a personal scholarship applicant many moons ago as well. Another reason a scholarship may not get a lot of applicants or get any is maybe it's time consuming. Maybe it requires extensive essays or projects or submissions, portfolios. Maybe they have to collect a lot, but that is where we also teach in the scholarship system, streamlining our systems, right? How do we make it take less time, even if they are requiring more? And the good news about the scholarships that require more is there's a way higher chance that they're legitimate. If it requires your student to write 1 or 2 sentences and enter to win $10,000, chances are they're not going to get anything from it. It's not worth their time. I have a whole video all about scholarship scams. We can put that right here, and you'll learn that those are not the ones we want to focus on. So actually, a lot of criteria is a good thing. They're worth our time. So, but that does still deter students from doing them. Another reason might be confusing requirements, maybe like rolling deadlines, or maybe they changed a deadline or something like that. But overall, there's lots of reasons. Okay. And just another quick story with this. We've actually had multiple students, where a scholarship reached out to them because they received it the previous year and said, hey, we've got this extra money to give out for a scholarship. Do you need money? And they're like, yeah, of course. And they're like, okay, submit an essay here. That way we can justify it. And they get money. So we've had multiple people have this happen to them, from private scholarships, but as well as university money, believe it or not. So there's another story just to show you there is unclaimed money. Okay, so how do we get into this money? How do we get it? So first and foremost, we want to encourage thorough research. We want to make sure that we're not just using those scholarship search engines that everyone talks about. Yes, it's a good place to go, but we in the scholarship system teach our Google search method for a reason, right? And that is to encourage students and families to search beyond the mainstream sites and explore more local, maybe smaller dollar, but yet legitimate and lower competition scholarships. That's what we want to focus on. These could be things like businesses, local businesses, community foundations, community organizations, nonprofits, small mom and pop companies that are local. So again, that free training at thescholarshipsystem.com/free webinar, there is where I give you lots of different examples on how to find the scholarships that are not in those search engines. 2 is to look for scholarships with unique criteria. So if it is very specific and it matches your student, chances are they have a higher chance of winning because there's a lower competition pool that can fit that criteria. So searching for things that are very unique about your student can be a great way to find these. Maybe it's different interests, heritage, major, career path, quirky traits. Those are just some ideas. 3rd is to emphasize quality over quantity. Again, we talked about, we don't want to just be doing those where our student just has to submit 2 sentences and they're entered to win. We want to focus on submitting high quality application materials. Again, this is what the scholarship system teaches, how to have the best essay or interview or video submission or resume. Okay, right? In the scholarship system, we teach how to perfect each and every aspect of a potential scholarship requirement. And so focusing on submitting high quality ones rather than quantity of just quick and easy ones will actually result in more money in the outcome. So don't skip those. If you see that it requires a lot, don't say, oh, honey, don't worry about doing that one. No, those are the ones we do want to go after because we have a much higher chance of it being legitimate and of us winning the money, especially if you're following our tips on how to perfect those materials. Going off of that, the 4th thing that you and your student can do is staying organized and keep on applying. So that's where also the scholarship system, our final step in it, is all about streamlining the process so that it's not starting from scratch every single time, right? That is a lot of work. We want instead to have our basics covered and then tweak for each application. That's where we can start saving time and snowballing our efforts. And going off of that, we also have a free app for tracking scholarships that we want to apply to. So even if it's for next year, we can set the deadline for next year and we won't miss the deadline. So if you want to learn more about our free app, we will link to that below, but you can go to the scholarshipsystem.com/app app, or you can just search the Scholarship System app in your iOS or in the Apple Store or Chrome Store. And the last thing with staying organized and continuing applying is just to keep on applying. Make sure your students continuously applying all the way until they graduate from college. Don't let them stop after senior year in high school like most students do. So we have a whole blog post all about maximizing unclaimed scholarships. I will link to that in the description below as well. But comment below, has your student ever won a scholarship and been told there were very few applicants? I'd love to hear of more examples like this. Again, we've worked with thousands of families over the last decade, so we've seen lots of examples, but I'd love to hear yours. So that said, there is unclaimed money out there, lots of it, millions and millions, if not billions of dollars. We have to make sure we submit FAFSA to tap into those grants, but I gave you tons of tips on how to tap into the unclaimed scholarship dollars. Don't forget that free training where I talk about where to find these scholarships. Again, you can go to the scholarshipsystem.com/free webinar for that. And give us a thumbs up if you found this video helpful, and make sure you subscribe because every week we have another strategy for you. All right, I'll see you there.